Earth faced the deadliest alien fleet in history. Cities burned and satellites fell silent as humanity stood on the edge. One human battleship appeared, striking with unmatched skill and courage. The aliens froze in shock, realizing numbers weren't enough. Don't miss more epic space adventures. Subscribe now and join the journey. The alien fleet appeared suddenly on the edge of the Sol system, massive ships stretching farther than the eye could see. Their surfaces gleamed with strange metals that reflected the distant sun. Each vessel looked like it had been built for war, sleek, terrifying, and unyielding. The fleet moved with precision, as if controlled by a single mind, leaving no room for error or hesitation. On Earth, the first alerts came from deep space observatories. Scientists and astronomers stared in disbelief, trying to calculate the number of ships, their speed, and their intentions. Communications buzzed across nations as military leaders confirmed the threat. Every channel, every signal, screamed danger. Yet no one could believe that the galaxy's deadliest fleet had set its sights on a small blue planet. Panic spread quickly through major cities, sirens wailed, people ran through streets trying to find shelter. Governments activated emergency plans, but the speed of the alien approach left little time to respond. Children clung to their parents, workers abandoned offices, and pilots scrambled to ready fighter jets that seemed almost useless against the looming armada. The sky above major cities darkened as news helicopters broadcast live images of the fleet moving closer, each ship casting massive shadows that covered entire neighborhoods. The alien ships emitted a low hum, a sound so deep it could be felt in the chest. It was a constant reminder that these were not explorers or traders. They were conquerors, trained over centuries to subdue and destroy. Military analysts compared the technology to anything humans had ever built, but nothing matched. The energy shields, propulsion systems, and massive weapons were beyond comprehension, leaving experts to admit that Earth was facing an enemy it had no chance of defeating with conventional means. Meanwhile, on Earth's surface, people looked up in fear and awe. Some prayed, some froze, others captured images and videos to share with the world. The alien fleet moved methodically, as if studying the planet before the attack. Satellites registered strange signals, radio waves unlike any human technology. The aliens were communicating in ways humans could not yet understand. Every moment brought them closer, and every moment heightened the sense of dread that gripped humanity. Leaders held emergency meetings, debating strategies and possible alliances. Yet the sheer size of the fleet made conventional defenses almost meaningless. Plans to deploy missiles, fighter squadrons, or naval forces seemed small against the vast armada. Citizens watched live feeds of the approaching ships, giant hulls reflecting sunlight like deadly mirrors. The most advanced telescopes could barely capture the scale of the invasion, and news outlets struggled to describe the scene without causing mass panic. Amid all this fear, there were moments of quiet determination. Scientists began running calculations, looking for weaknesses. Engineers worked day and night to adapt existing technology, and military commanders trained for a confrontation that seemed impossible. Even ordinary people helped in small ways, distributing supplies, helping children and the elderly. The arrival of the fleet brought terror, but it also united humanity in a way no single threat ever had. As the aliens closed in, their formations tightened. The fleet spread across several million kilometers of space. Each ship maintained perfect alignment, ready to strike at any moment. Humanity watched helplessly as the first few scouts moved into Earth's orbit, scanning cities, oceans, and military installations. The sound of alarms, messages, and human fear filled every home. Yet the fleet did not fire. It seemed to be waiting, observing, preparing for a moment that would change history forever. In the sky above and in the hearts of people below, a sense of awe mixed with terror. Earth had never faced anything like this, and for the first time, humans realized that the universe was not as peaceful as they had believed. The alien armada's presence was a warning, a reminder of the dangers beyond their world, and a test of humanity's courage, intelligence, and resilience. Every second ticked closer to the moment when the first move would be made, and the fate of the planet would hang in the balance. Humanity held its breath, staring at the alien fleet, knowing that the calm before the storm was ending. Every person, every soldier, and every scientist prepared for what seemed like an inevitable catastrophe. Yet deep inside, a spark of hope remained. the belief that humans could survive even the deadliest threat the galaxy had ever known. The arrival of the alien armada had begun, and with it, a story of courage, ingenuity, and survival was about to unfold. On Earth, panic spread faster than anyone could have imagined. Cities emptied as people rushed to find safety. Sirens blared continuously, and emergency broadcasts filled every screen. Governments activated all disaster protocols, but the speed and scale of the alien approach left even the most prepared officials scrambling. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders worked tirelessly, trying to understand the technology of the alien fleet. Every calculation and observation was a race against time. Airports were closed, trains stopped, and highways filled with people fleeing urban areas. Parents held their children tightly, whispering reassurances even as their own fear grew. Hospitals prepared for mass casualties, and soldiers were deployed to guard critical facilities. Meanwhile, radar stations and satellites monitored the alien fleet, tracking their movement with precision. Every blip on the screen caused tension to spike as humans realized that the ships were not just passing by, they were planning an invasion. In military headquarters, commanders convened emergency meetings, debating strategies that had never been tested. Plans to launch fighter jets and missile barrages were considered, but they seemed almost insignificant against the massive alien vessels. Analysts calculated the destructive potential of the enemy. Realizing that conventional weapons would barely scratch the hulls of the ships, engineers began designing improvised weapons, focusing on intelligence, strategy, and human ingenuity rather than brute force. News outlets broadcast images of the approaching fleet, giant shadows reflected in oceans and mountains. People around the world watched in disbelief. Some prayed silently, some recorded videos, and others tried to maintain calm while helping those around them. Schools were closed, businesses shut down, and a sense of global unity mixed with fear spread. Citizens in every city felt connected by a common threat, yet the feeling of helplessness was overwhelming. Amid the chaos, scientists worked around the clock, attempting to analyze alien signals, trying to decode their intentions. Unfamiliar radio waves and energy pulses emitted from the fleet puzzled experts. Computers ran simulations to predict the fleet's behavior. And mathematicians calculated possible weak points. Engineers modified existing technology, retrofitting satellites, weapons, and drones to gather intelligence. Human minds pushed to the limit, searching for solutions where none seemed to exist. In secret bunkers and command centers, teams coordinated across continents, sharing every piece of information they could gather. They simulated attacks and defenses repeatedly, hoping to find an opening. Every new observation was crucial. Each minor breakthrough gave a spark of hope to a world on the edge of despair. Military pilots trained frantically, practicing evasive maneuvers against imaginary alien craft, while naval ships positioned themselves along coastlines for defense. Communities came together to support one another. Volunteers helped evacuate the vulnerable, distributed food, and assisted in medical care. Ordinary people became heroes in small ways, proving that humanity's strength lay not only in weapons, but in courage, compassion, and cooperation. The approach of the alien fleet created fear, yet it also united humans in a way never seen before. Humans were forced to adapt, to think faster, and to act together as one. Every city, every town, and every village waited anxiously, watching the skies for signs of the first attack. Children clung to their parents, asking questions with wide, fearful eyes. While adults tried to maintain composure, governments issued evacuation instructions and emergency broadcasts, but the scale of the threat made any plan seem incomplete. Every heart felt the weight of uncertainty. Every mind raced to imagine how the invasion would unfold. Despite the terror, a quiet determination grew. Scientists discovered patterns in the alien movements, small clues that suggested predictability. Engineers modified satellites to monitor energy emissions. Hoping to find weaknesses, soldiers trained for precision strikes, ready to act at a moment's notice. Communities helped one another, finding courage in unity. Humanity was learning to fight fear with intelligence, hope with action, and despair with resilience. As the alien fleet moved closer, tension reached its peak. The sky above major cities darkened as the massive ships blocked sunlight. The air seemed heavier, charged with anticipation. People watched as the first scouts moved into orbit, scanning the planet. The countdown to contact had begun, and humanity's survival depended not on weapons alone, but on intelligence, teamwork, and the courage to face the unknown. Every second was a test, every action a chance to prepare for the battle that would define the future. Humans held their breath, their eyes fixed on the approaching armada, knowing that the moment of decision was near. Fear and hope intertwined, creating a strange energy that filled the world. Scientists, soldiers, and ordinary citizens alike braced for the inevitable, determined to meet the alien threat with courage, ingenuity, and unity. Earth had never faced anything like this, and every human being understood that the coming hours would determine the fate of their planet. The first attack came without warning. Alien ships unleashed beams of energy that cut through the sky. Strikes hit coastal cities and military bases with terrifying precision. Fires erupted, buildings crumbled, and smoke filled the air. Civilians ran for cover, screaming and crying as the world they knew disappeared under the alien assault. Fighter jets scrambled into the sky, but most were destroyed before reaching the enemy. The sheer size and speed of the alien vessels made human weapons seem almost useless. Despite the devastation, human forces fought back. Pilots used every trick they knew, performing daring maneuvers to dodge the alien fire. Missile launches lit the sky as engineers tried to exploit any weakness in the ship's defenses. Ships in the Navy fired volleys of torpedoes, but many were destroyed before impact. Humans realized quickly that brute force alone would not defeat the Armada. They needed strategy, cunning, and teamwork to survive. On the ground, emergency teams worked tirelessly, evacuating civilians, putting out fires, and providing medical care. Hospitals were overwhelmed with injuries from both direct attacks and collapsing infrastructure. Yet, people did not give up. Volunteers, soldiers, and ordinary citizens risked their lives to help others. The courage displayed by humans inspired a sense of determination. Even in the face of nearly unstoppable force, humanity refused to surrender. In the skies above, fighter squadrons attempted to form defensive lines, trying to protect cities and strategic locations. Alien ships outmaneuvered them with frightening speed and precision. Yet humans learned quickly, adapting their tactics, flying in coordinated groups, using the terrain and atmosphere to their advantage. Pilots began discovering small openings in the alien formations, opportunities that could be exploited to strike back. Scientists and engineers worked feverishly to analyze the alien weapons, scanning the beams and projectiles to find patterns and weaknesses. Every observation was a clue, every experiment a chance to turn the tide. They modified drones, satellites, and fighter systems to gather intelligence mid-battle. Data streamed into command centers, informing decisions in real time. Human ingenuity began to counterbalance the technological superiority of the invaders. The alien fleet was relentless, launching wave after wave of attacks. Cities were destroyed, satellites fell, and communication lines were disrupted. Yet humans refused to yield. Civilians hid in bunkers, then emerged to assist emergency responders. Soldiers adapted strategies on the fly. Combining old tactics with newly improvised maneuvers, the world was becoming a battlefield. But humans showed that courage and intelligence could resist even the deadliest enemy. Amid the chaos, the first glimpses of hope appeared. Pilots discovered that alien shields were weaker at certain angles. Engineers hacked surveillance drones to predict attack patterns. Small victories allowed humans to save critical infrastructure. These successes boosted morale, proving that the alien fleet, while powerful, was not invincible. The first strike of humanity's ingenuity had begun, signaling that survival was possible with clever planning. In orbit and on the ground, coordination increased. Command centers communicated directly with pilots, sharing data about alien positions and weaknesses. Naval fleets adapted formation strategies, learning to work together to minimize losses. Humans realized that the battle was not just about weapons, but about intelligence, strategy, and rapid adaptation. Every decision mattered, every second counted, and the margin between life and death was razor thin. Civilians witnessed acts of heroism everywhere. People carried supplies to frontline responders, rescued the injured, and shared information. Fear existed, but it was accompanied by resilience. Unity and teamwork became humanity's strongest weapons. The alien armada had underestimated the human spirit, assuming fear would dominate, but instead, Determination and ingenuity emerged as powerful tools of resistance. As the first hours of battle ended, the scale of destruction was clear. Major cities were damaged, military assets lost, and lives changed forever. Yet humans had managed to survive, adapt, and strike back in small but meaningful ways. Every pilot, soldier, and civilian contributed to the fight. Their combined efforts formed a network of resistance that even the aliens could not ignore. Humanity learned quickly that survival depended on courage, intelligence, and collaboration. Despite the destruction, hope burned brightly. The first attack had tested humans to their limits, but it had also revealed their potential. Every human knew that the next phase of the battle would be even more dangerous, yet confidence began to grow that, with careful planning and bold action, they could push back the alien threat. Humanity had faced annihilation and survived the first strike, proving that even against overwhelming odds, they would fight with every ounce of their strength. Out of the darkness of space, a single massive human battleship emerged, its hull gleaming with a combination of stealth technology and powerful energy shields. The ship moved with a speed and precision that immediately caught the attention of the alien fleet. On board, the crew was tense but focused, every officer and soldier knowing the weight of the mission. The battleship was unlike anything the aliens had ever seen, built not for mass destruction alone, but for intelligence, strategy, and adaptability. The alien commanders hesitated, their confidence shaken by the sudden appearance of this single vessel. They had never faced a force so small, yet so precise. Every ship in their fleet seemed to pause, scanning and analyzing, trying to understand its capabilities. Humans inside the battleship prepared their systems, calibrating weapons, shields, and sensors, ready to exploit any weaknesses in the alien formations. Every member of the crew knew that their actions in the next hours could decide the fate of Earth. From the command deck, the admiral gave orders with calm authority. Pilots and gunners followed with exact precision, coordinating maneuvers that would confuse and outsmart the alien attackers. The ship moved like a single organism, dodging massive energy beams while striking at vulnerable points in enemy vessels. Engineers monitored every system, rerouting power, and repairing minor damage in real time. Every decision was crucial, and mistakes could mean total annihilation. The battleship's weapons were unlike conventional human armaments. They combined precision energy pulses with EMP strikes designed to disrupt alien shields and communication networks. Every shot was calculated to maximize damage while minimizing risk. Drones and satellites deployed from the ship provided real-time intelligence. Scanning the alien fleet for weaknesses, humans had turned technology into a weapon of cleverness, showing that brains could challenge brute force. The alien fleet reacted aggressively, launching wave after wave of attacks. Yet the battleship evaded most strikes with skillful maneuvers. The crew adapted instantly to unexpected attacks, every turn, rise, and dive calculated to protect the ship while keeping pressure on the aliens. Alien commanders grew frustrated, realizing that their experience and numbers did not guarantee victory. The humans were unpredictable, precise, and fearless, traits the aliens had not anticipated. On Earth, radar and satellite feeds captured the battle unfolding in space. Scientists and military analysts watched in awe. Calculating how a single vessel could dominate such an enormous fleet, civilians stared at screens, amazed and inspired. The sudden arrival of the battleship had turned despair into hope. People began to believe that survival was possible, that human ingenuity and courage could stand against the galaxy's deadliest invaders. Inside the battleship, the crew maintained focus despite the danger. Every gunner, pilot, and technician knew the value of their role. Every calculation, maneuver, and shot mattered. The ship itself seemed alive, responding to its crew's commands with fluid precision. Strategy became an art, as humans exploited tiny gaps in the alien formations. Using distraction, misdirection, and speed, they caused confusion and panic among enemy ranks. The alien fleet struggled to adapt, their vast numbers and firepower now less effective. Confusion spread among commanders as the battleship disabled key vessels. Each successful strike amplified human confidence. The crew realized that intelligence, planning, and courage could level the battlefield. Even when faced with overwhelming odds, every small victory had a ripple effect, demoralizing the aliens and inspiring humans across the planet. Signals from the battleship reached Earth, showing precise strikes, disabled alien ships, and the chaos caused in enemy formations. Leaders and civilians alike felt a renewed sense of hope. Humanity's ingenuity was proving stronger than alien firepower. The presence of a single ship had shifted the balance of power, turning fear into determination and hopelessness into action. As the battleship pressed forward, alien vessels began to retreat slightly. Uncertainty filled their ranks, their assumed dominance no longer absolute. On Earth, people watched history being rewritten. A single human crew had taken the fight to the galaxy's deadliest fleet, showing that courage, intelligence, and unity could challenge even the impossible. Every second of battle proved that humans were not just survivors, but a force to be reckoned with. The battleship moved with purpose, striking, dodging, and observing. Its presence alone was a symbol, a reminder that humans would fight for their world no matter the odds. Crew members worked tirelessly, maintaining focus despite exhaustion. Every system pushed to its limits, yet performing perfectly under pressure. The aliens had met a foe they could not easily defeat. And the first true shift in the war had begun. Humanity realized that victory was possible, not by sheer force, but by strategy, courage, and quick thinking. The battleship had become a beacon of hope, showing that even in the darkest hour, one bold move could change the course of history. Earth and its people held their breath, watching as the single ship outmaneuvered, outsmarted, and challenged the entire alien fleet. A story of ingenuity, bravery, and determination had begun, and humanity was ready to fight for survival. The human battleship moved with unmatched precision, weaving through the alien fleet with speed that seemed impossible. Every maneuver was calculated, every shot fired with purpose. The crew coordinated flawlessly, communicating instantly to anticipate enemy movements. Sensors tracked every alien vessel, predicting their attacks before they happened. The aliens were powerful, but they struggled to respond to a ship that acted as one with its crew. As the battleship struck, it focused on the weak points of alien ships, hitting engines, shields, and communication arrays. Small but critical attacks caused confusion. Some alien vessels collided, others were disabled. The fleet's formation broke slightly under pressure. The aliens were unprepared for tactics based on intelligence rather than sheer firepower. Humanity's clever use of strategy began to turn the tide. On Earth, people watched live feeds, unable to believe what a single human vessel was achieving. Scientists analyzed the strikes in real time, learning from each engagement. Every small victory inspired hope across the planet. Families gathered around screens, seeing that courage and brains could challenge the deadliest enemy in the galaxy. The battleship became more than a ship. It was a symbol of human ingenuity and resilience. Pilots inside the battleship executed daring maneuvers, diving, spinning, and ascending at impossible angles. They dodged massive energy beams, avoiding destruction by fractions of a second. Weapons fired from multiple angles simultaneously, targeting alien ships with precision. The crew remained calm under pressure, their training and coordination making the impossible seem routine. Each successful strike demoralized the alien forces further. The alien commanders began to argue and second-guess each other. Confusion spread through the fleet. Their usual tactics failed repeatedly. They had never encountered an opponent so unpredictable. The battleship's speed and intelligence made it a ghost that appeared and vanished. Striking where least expected, human strategy became the most dangerous weapon the aliens had faced. On board, engineers monitored every system, rerouting power to shields when attacks came too close. Weapon systems adjusted automatically to maximize effectiveness. Data streamed from sensors, showing which alien ships were vulnerable. Every decision was informed by real-time calculations. Technology and human skill merged seamlessly. The battleship operated as a single entity, faster and smarter than any enemy thought possible. Even when the aliens tried to regroup, the battleship stayed ahead. Anticipating maneuvers and cutting off escape routes, it targeted command vessels to further disrupt coordination. The alien fleet's confidence began to crumble. Their once certain victory, now threatened by a single, well-prepared human crew. On Earth, military leaders and scientists celebrated small victories, knowing that human ingenuity could create openings even against overwhelming odds. Every strike from the battleship sent shockwaves through the enemy formation, disabling weapons, overloading shields and causing panic among alien crews. The human crew remained focused, calculating risks with care. They avoided unnecessary danger while maintaining relentless pressure. Every maneuver, every shot, and every decision contributed to a growing momentum in humanity's favor. Civilians watched in awe as the battleship danced through the alien fleet. It was not just a fight for survival, but a demonstration of intelligence, courage, and unity. Humanity learned that brain and skill could defeat size and power. The first cracks in the alien armada's armor were visible. Small victories built upon each other, showing that persistence and strategy mattered more than sheer numbers. As the battle continued, alien ships faltered and retreated from key positions. The human vessel used this to push deeper into the formation, striking decisively while avoiding unnecessary risks. Crew members worked tirelessly, coordinating attacks, repairing minor damages, and planning the next move. The alien fleet realized that their experience and numbers were not enough. They were being outsmarted by a single determined human crew. The world held its breath, watching history unfold. The battleship proved that courage, skill, and strategy could challenge even the most powerful force in the galaxy. Humans began to believe that victory was possible, that one smart, brave, and coordinated effort could shift the balance of power. Every second of the battle reinforced the lesson that intelligence, preparation, and bravery could overcome almost any obstacle. By the end of the engagement, the alien fleet was scattered and demoralized, their formation broken, their confidence shaken. The battleship had not only survived, but had changed the course of the conflict, showing that humans could fight back against the impossible. The crew remained vigilant, ready for the next attack. Their actions inspiring hope, courage, and determination across the planet, humanity had shown that even the deadliest enemy could be challenged with skill, strategy, and unity. The human battleship continued to strike with precision, disabling key alien vessels one by one. Each successful attack spread confusion throughout the enemy fleet. Alien ships collided or retreated, their coordination breaking under pressure. The invaders, who had once felt invincible, now faced an unpredictable and clever opponent. Humanity's courage and strategy began to turn fear into hope. On Earth, people watched live broadcasts, unable to believe what a single ship was accomplishing. Cities that had been in panic now felt a spark of relief. Scientists and military analysts observed the battle, noting how intelligence and quick thinking could overcome overwhelming firepower. Every disabled alien ship was celebrated, proving that humans could fight back against the deadliest armada in the galaxy. The alien commanders struggled to regain control. Their usual tactics failed repeatedly. Attempts to regroup were thwarted by the battleship's speed and foresight. Human crew members anticipated every move, using sensors, drones, and careful observation to predict attacks before they happened. Each maneuver disrupted alien formations further. The fleet's morale began to crumble as confusion spread. The battleship focused on the most critical targets. Command vessels, shield generators, and weapon platforms were all carefully neutralized. Small but precise attacks created a ripple effect, disabling entire sections of the fleet without exposing the human ship to serious danger. Engineers and gunners worked tirelessly, maintaining optimal performance under constant stress. Every strike was calculated to maximize effect and minimize risk. Amid the chaos, the crew coordinated flawlessly. Pilots, gunners, and strategists acted as one, each decision informed by data streaming from sensors and satellites. The alien fleet could not keep up. Their reactions were slow, predictable, and easily countered. Human ingenuity proved stronger than the aliens' brute force. Every victory, no matter how small, added to a growing momentum in humanity's favor. On Earth, civilians and soldiers alike felt hope returning. Families watched the battleship's progress with pride and relief. People realized that the aliens were not invincible. Courage and intelligence could change the course of the battle. Scientists shared findings with military leaders, helping refine strategies in real time. The world learned that observation, calculation, and quick thinking were now humanity's most powerful weapons. Even as the alien fleet attempted desperate counterattacks, the battleship remained agile, dodging massive energy beams while striking critical points. The crew anticipated risks, adapting instantly to every new threat. Their coordination was seamless, every action supporting the next. The aliens' confidence eroded further as they realized their overwhelming numbers could not guarantee victory. Strategy and intelligence had become decisive factors in the war. Communication networks on Earth buzzed with updates. Analysts plotted the weakening positions of the alien fleet. Governments shared the progress to reassure citizens. Military bases prepared for follow-up actions. The morale of humanity rose dramatically, witnessing that the impossible could be challenged. Every victory in space inspired courage on the ground. Civilians assisted in emergency services, distributed resources, and supported military efforts. The battleship's success created panic among the alien ranks. Signals of retreat and disarray spread through the fleet. Confusion replaced the arrogance that had dominated before. Commanders argued over failed strategies and unexpected losses. Humanity had introduced unpredictability into a previously controlled and methodical system. Each alien ship disabled by humans was a blow to their pride and power. Even small skirmishes led to larger effects. Disabled ships blocked paths, forcing others to change course. Collisions and minor damages compounded into significant setbacks. The battleship pressed forward relentlessly. Using every advantage, exploiting every weakness, the aliens' calculated plans fell apart, and the tide of battle shifted. On board the human vessel, the crew remained focused and calm. Every system monitored, every weapon ready, every decision made with precision. Engineers repaired minor damages while gunners prepared for the next strike. The ship operated as a single, living entity, every member playing a critical role. Their determination was unwavering, even under constant threat. As the alien fleet faltered, humanity's morale soared. Earth watched as victory, once impossible, began to feel within reach. Scientists studied alien technology for weaknesses. Military commanders refined strategies based on observations. Civilians celebrated every success, knowing that survival was no longer just a hope, but a growing reality. By the end of the engagement, the alien armada was broken and disoriented, their sense of invincibility shattered. Humanity had proven that courage, intelligence, and strategy could overcome overwhelming power. The battleship had become more than a weapon. It was a symbol of hope and determination, showing that even the most powerful enemy could be challenged with skill, precision, and unity. Earth and its people had taken the first true step toward survival and victory. The alien fleet was in chaos, their formations broken and commanders desperate. The human battleship pressed the advantage, striking with precision and speed. Each maneuver disrupted enemy plans, exploiting weaknesses discovered in earlier engagements. The crew operated with perfect coordination, pilots dodging massive energy blasts while gunners targeted critical systems. Engineers monitored shields and weapons, rerouting power instantly to meet changing threats. Every action worked in unison to maximize the ship's effectiveness. Alien ships that had once seemed unstoppable now faltered. Collisions and disabled engines caused further confusion. Smaller vessels were destroyed or scattered, while larger ships struggled to regroup. The invaders were unprepared for an opponent that combined intelligence, speed, and adaptability. Humans had turned strategy into their deadliest weapon. Outnumbered, yet precise. They forced the alien armada into defensive positions. On Earth, civilians and military observers watched with awe. The battleship's success restored hope in the hearts of millions. Scientists analyzed every strike, learning from the human ingenuity on display. News outlets broadcast images of alien ships being destroyed or disabled. Families and communities cheered. Understanding that survival was now possible, courage and intelligence were proving stronger than overwhelming force. Inside the battleship, the crew worked tirelessly, each officer knowing the importance of their role. Pilots executed daring evasive maneuvers, gunners struck at vital points, and engineers ensured systems remained operational under immense stress. Every second mattered. Every decision could change the outcome of the battle. Their unity and focus allowed them to operate as a single, precise force. The alien commanders attempted to counterattack, launching coordinated strikes, firing massive energy beams, and deploying fighter squadrons. Yet the human ship anticipated these moves, dodging, countering, and striking where least expected. Confusion spread through the alien ranks, their confidence shattered by the unpredictable tactics. The fleet's discipline began to crumble, and fear took root among alien crews. Small victories by the battleship caused ripple effects across the enemy formation. Destroyed ships blocked escape routes, damaged systems slowed reinforcements, and alien communication networks faltered under targeted attacks. The once unbreakable fleet was now vulnerable. Humanity had learned that knowledge, observation, and quick thinking could outweigh raw power. Each calculated strike brought the humans closer to complete control of the battlefield. On Earth, hope turned into determination. Military leaders adapted strategies based on the battleship's actions. Scientists suggested new ways to exploit alien weaknesses. Civilians contributed by supporting rescue operations, distributing supplies, and aiding in communication networks. The world united in purpose. Inspired by the courage and skill displayed in space, humanity's ingenuity had created a turning point, proving that one smart, coordinated effort could challenge the deadliest enemy. The battleship moved with fluid precision, weaving through enemy fire while striking key targets. Each maneuver was calculated to maximize impact and minimize risk. Alien shields failed under concentrated attacks. Engines were disabled and communication arrays were jammed. Confusion spread further among alien forces. They had never faced an enemy that could adapt so quickly, one that used speed, intelligence, and teamwork to such devastating effect. The crew of the battleship remained calm under constant threat. Every gunner, pilot, and engineer focused on their task. Communication was seamless. Every action supporting the next, even minor victories were exploited. Small advantages became critical. Every disabled alien vessel strengthened humanity's position, and the morale of the human crew rose with every success. The alien fleet attempted to retreat, but the battleship anticipated their moves, cutting off escape routes and disabling key vessels. Panic spread among the enemy ranks. Their formations shattered completely. Commanders argued and attempted desperate strategies, but every action was countered by human intelligence. Skill and courage had proven stronger than overwhelming numbers. As the battle continued, humanity gained momentum. The aliens' confidence and morale collapsed. The human battleship, though outnumbered, controlled the fight. Every strike, every maneuver, and every decision brought them closer to victory. On Earth, people watched history unfold, witnessing a single crew take on the galaxy's deadliest armada and succeed. Humanity realized that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the most impossible odds. By the end of the engagement, the alien fleet was retreating, broken, and disorganized. The battleship had demonstrated that strategy, skill, and determination could defeat raw power. Humans celebrated small victories, inspired by what had been achieved. The crew remained vigilant, aware that the war was not over. Yet hope and confidence had replaced fear. Humanity had proven that even the deadliest enemy could be challenged with courage, intelligence, and precise action. The alien fleet, once confident and terrifying, was now in full retreat, their massive ships limping through space, damaged and disorganized. The human battleship pursued with careful precision, striking only when necessary to disable key vessels, avoiding unnecessary risks while maintaining relentless pressure. The aliens realized that their overwhelming numbers could no longer guarantee victory. Strategy, intelligence, and adaptability had shifted the balance of power. On Earth, people watched the unfolding events with awe and relief. Families, soldiers, and scientists alike followed every report, witnessing humanity's ingenuity triumph over what had seemed an unstoppable force. Cities that had feared destruction now dared to hope. Civilians celebrated small victories, knowing that survival was within reach. Humanity's courage and skill had proven stronger than fear and alien firepower. Inside the battleship, the crew remained focused. Every officer, pilot, and engineer aware that this final phase was critical. Sensors scanned for remaining threats, weapon systems prepared for precision strikes. Every maneuver calculated to maximize effect while minimizing danger. The ship moved like a single organism, its crew acting in perfect harmony. Every successful engagement weakened the alien fleet further. The aliens attempted desperate countermeasures, launching coordinated attacks and deploying fighter squadrons. Yet the battleship anticipated these moves, dodging with speed and striking at vulnerable systems. Confusion spread among alien ranks, their once-ordered formations now chaotic and panicked. The alien commanders struggled to regain control, but each decision was countered by human ingenuity and adaptability. Human pilots performed daring maneuvers, evading energy beams, striking at engines, shields, and communication arrays. Each action carefully planned, each decision executed with precision. The battleship exploited every weakness, turning small advantages into decisive blows. Engineers monitored systems constantly, rerouting power to shields and weapons, maintaining the vessel's perfect operational balance under immense stress. On Earth, analysts studied every moment, learning from the strategies that had broken the alien armada. Governments shared updates, inspiring hope and confidence in citizens worldwide. Communities came together to support recovery efforts. Civilians volunteered to assist emergency services, distribute resources, and maintain communication. Humanity's unity and determination mirrored the battleship's coordinated efforts in space. The alien fleet continued to falter, some ships disabled entirely, others retreating under the relentless human pressure. Confidence among alien crews collapsed. Panic replaced arrogance. The human battleship had proven that intelligence, strategy, and courage could overcome overwhelming odds. Every victory further demoralized the enemy, each disabled ship a reminder of humanity's growing power. Even as the aliens retreated, the battleship maintained vigilance, striking only when necessary to prevent regrouping. Every movement calculated to secure a lasting advantage. Crew members remained alert, repairing minor damages, monitoring sensors, and preparing for any sudden attacks. Every second counted, and the human team understood the importance of maintaining momentum. Signals from the battleship reached Earth, showing the destruction of key alien vessels and the retreat of others. Civilians and leaders celebrated, understanding that the tide of war had turned. Humanity had survived the deadliest threat in the galaxy. Intelligence and courage had overcome fear and overwhelming force. Every person on Earth felt pride in what had been achieved. The alien armada, once the most feared force in the galaxy, had underestimated humans. They had assumed fear would dominate, yet human creativity, coordination, and bravery proved stronger than raw power. The battleship became a symbol, not just of survival, but of what humans could achieve when working together. Strategy, intelligence, and determination had rewritten the rules of engagement. As the last alien ships retreated into deep space, the human battleship held position. Watching, ready, and vigilant, crew members allowed themselves a brief moment of relief, knowing that they had changed the course of history. Humanity had faced annihilation and survived. The alien armada's defeat demonstrated that courage and ingenuity could defy even the deadliest enemy. On Earth, people cheered, celebrated, and prepared to rebuild. Inspired by the bravery and skill of those in space, leaders planned the next steps. Scientists studied alien technology to prevent future threats. Civilians shared stories of hope and courage. Humanity had proven that even in the darkest hour, one clever and determined effort could change the fate of the world. The human battleship returned to orbit near Earth, a silent guardian. Its crew exhausted but proud, knowing that their actions had saved millions of lives. The aliens had been defeated, their invasion stopped by intelligence, strategy, and bravery. Humanity had shown the galaxy that while aliens may master war, humans could master the art of survival, and courage and ingenuity would always shine brightest in the face of impossible odds.